One of the most common things that I hear from business owners is this: I just wish I could turn my brain off. Here's how it plays out. You leave work, you drive home, greet your family, then you sit down for dinner. But your mind is still running the business. And then the floodgates just open. All the decisions you didn't make, things you forgot, problems you didn't solve, just come rushing in. And the frustrating part is, the harder you try to stop thinking about it, the more the thoughts show up. Your brain just keeps going and everything begins to speed up. A lot of business owners just begin to wonder if something is actually wrong with them. Like, why can't I just shut this off? Because you finally get home so you can relax, but you can't relax. Your mind is still running a million miles a minute. And this is incredibly common for people who run businesses. I remember a period where this was happening to me day in and day out. I'd finish work, I'd walk out to my truck, and I'd start driving home. And my brain was just still racing. Decisions, problems, things I forgot to do or things I didn't finish. Nothing about my day felt finished. And I'd begin to feel anxious and overstimulated and honestly not be so excited to go home anymore. And I remember sitting there in my truck thinking like, dude, what the hell is wrong with me? I just want to go home and be present. Why doesn't my brain just shut off? And eventually I realized something really important. Nothing was actually wrong with me. The problem was that my workday never actually ended. Because really, when you're running a business never really finishes. There's always another decision you can make, another problem that you're going to need to solve, another thing that you're going to want to improve. So your brain never receives a signal that the day is actually done. And when that signal never happens, your brain is just going to keep trying to close loop after loop after loop. That's why your brain won't shut off. Your brain isn't trying to work all night. It's just trying to finish the things that it feels like are unfinished. And once I realized that, I started noticing something. My brain kept trying to close a few specific types of loops before I could actually relax. So I built a really simple shutdown ritual at the end of my day. It's 5 questions. The whole thing takes maybe 5 minutes. But each question is designed to close a different type of loop that your brain keeps trying to solve. The first question is, how are you feeling mentally and emotionally right now? Because most business owners go straight from running the business to going home without ever actually checking in with themselves. Like, just pause and acknowledge where you are at mentally can bring yourself a lot of clarity. Question number 2, what progress did you make today in moving the business forward or showing up as a leader? Now, this one is really important because a lot of owners end the day feeling like they didn't do enough. But when you actually stop and actually look at the day, you realize that you moved things forward more than you thought. And that right there is going to help your brain register that today, this day actually mattered. Now, question number 3, are there any open loops or lingering thoughts that you want to release for tomorrow? This one right here is where you capture anything that's still bouncing around in your head. This could be a decision that you feel like you need to make, an idea that you had and you just want to document it, or problems that really weren't solved that you want to revisit the next day. By just writing those down tells your brain, you don't have to hold on to this tonight. Now, going to question 4, how do you want to take care of yourself the rest of tonight so you can unplug from work? This question right here is designed to create permission. Because truthfully, a lot of business owners never actually decide to unplug and they feel like they need permission to. Work just sort of fades out, but their brain thinks that they need to jump back in. So this question makes that shift intentional. Now the last question, question 5. Anything you want to be proud of or acknowledge before you shift gears? Most people who are running businesses are extremely hard on themselves. They're always looking at what's next. So just taking a moment to acknowledge something you did well changes the way that your brain actually closes the day and closes the loop from the day. Now, when you look at all these questions, like, none of them are complicated. But when you put all of them together, they do something really important. They tell your brain that today, this day is complete. And once that happens and you're able to do that, your brain can finally power down. When I started doing this consistently, something really interesting happened. I stopped walking through the door when I got home, still carrying the entire day with me, and I could actually be present. There was no more like, hey, just give daddy a second. And if your brain won't shut off after work, there's probably nothing wrong with you. You just never learned how to end your workday intentionally. And if you want to try this yourself, I put the 5 shutdown questions in the description below. You can run through them in about 5 minutes or less at the end of your day. Go ahead and try it for a week and just see what changes.